physical therapist and health coach. And I'm here today for the Toombs County Magazine and for my folks over here. And Stephanie, the owner, executive editor, and she's my sister-in-law, you know, she married my brother. I told him the two best decisions he ever made in his life was accepting Christ and marrying Stephanie, and everything else has been added unto him. But anyway, so she and I were talking about the coronavirus and just the impact that it had on our community, and maybe some tips for helping you move forward, because people are focusing on their health more, which is a good thing. Out of bad things come good things. So I wanted to offer you some tips today, but you know, one of the things I've noticed with my clients is to change, you have to feel the burden of the problem. And so what I'm going to do today is try as gently as I can talk about some of the problems with disease and poor health and what we can do to move forward. And at the end, so stay to the end, I'm going to offer you about 4 or 5 tips that really are easy things to do, but you know, you have to have the right information to get the best solution. And in America, we've been given a lot of wrong information, and to move forward, you have to have clarity. Nobody makes any decisions or moves forward until they have a clear understanding of what they're going to get and what they need to do. So I hope to give you some clarity today. I'm going to give you some statistics, but so stay to the end because you want to get these tips. Okay, so what qualifies me to be here? Well, first of all, I have a doctorate in physical therapy, and I've been a health coach for a long time. I had a TV show where I taught healthy cooking, or what I thought was healthy cooking, and I've just done a lot in the healthcare field. And what I want to tell you, I'm going to give you some statistics now that I think will just nudge you along. So, first of all, 44% of our population is obese, and that's staggering numbers compared to what it was just 10, 15 years ago. And 42% of 20 to 39-year-olds are obese. And I'm just going to tell you that 99% of that obesity and 99% of what I see in the nursing home, in patients that I see, is due to nutrition. So they come to the nursing home thinking that they're there because they've had a knee replacement or a heart attack or a stroke or diabetes or other things, amputation. But what got them to that was nutrition. And so that's what I want you to think about, is most disease is related to nutrition. Now, yes, there are car wrecks, yes, there are other things, but the majority is nutrition related. Okay, in 2009, I started the Mercy Clinic, which was a medical clinic for people. Me and Dr. Connor founded it. It's a medical clinic for people that don't have insurance. And the reason we started that was I had gotten over $3 million in grant money from the federal government and the state government to address the diabetes issue. And what I found was that most of those diabetics that we were seeing didn't have any insurance. And so you can't get medical care of that magnitude without insurance. So we were able to offer, and that clinic is still going today. In fact, they've got one in Baxley now and treating probably 1,000 families, have helped thousands of people, literally, with medical and dental care. But you know what? In 2017, I felt led to move away from that. God just said, I got something else for you to do. I didn't know what it was, so it was a step of faith for me. But now I know it was to help people that had insurance or that had means get healthy. Because all the money in the world, all the insurance in the world will not get you healthy. You got to know the right information. And doctors' offices and hospitals are full of people that are intelligent, that have money, that have means, but they have disease. And so even Alzheimer's now, we know, it's not old people's disease, it starts in middle age. We're seeing the changes in the brain that result in Alzheimer's in the 30s and 40s, and it's because of nutrition and hormones and a lot of that. So I'm doing a lot of research on that now. I'm going to be teaching about that soon. But what we're seeing in the 70s and 80s are the symptoms from the disease, but the disease was there earlier, so I want you to stick that in your brain, literally in your brain, so that you can follow me and get that information. Okay, so the average age now is about 79. You think, well, gosh, you know, that's pretty old for some of y'all. For some of y'all in your 70s, like, no, that's not old at all. But what we know is people are living longer, but they're not having quality health. And 40% of the people over 65 will be in a nursing home. And I don't know about you, but that's not where I want to be. And I'm thankful for that, for a lot of people that don't have anywhere else to go. But here's what I want to tell you. I got a little short story I want to tell. A father and a daughter were at the Holocaust Museum, and she was 11 years old. And she was walking around seeing all those atrocities, just, you know, pictures of people stacked on top of each other, children's shoes stacked up. And, you know, it took them 2 hours to get through that whole exhibit. I've been there myself, and it's quite moving. And the whole time you're walking through there, your mind is churning about, gosh, how did this happen? So when they got to the end, there's a place where you can sign your name and leave a comment. And at 11 years old, here's the comment she wrote. Somebody should have stopped this. Somebody should have said something. So I'm that somebody for me. My passion, my goal is to help 1,000 people get healthy, to move from the group of unhealthy people to the smaller group of healthy people. Now let me give you a definition. Propagate. Okay? Propagate is where you breed specimens, whether it's plant or animal, by natural processes from parent stock. So think about that. What is our culture propagating? Now I know that means the physical thing, but literally our culture is propagating poor health and disease. But let me just tell you, it's not our fault. In 1955, President Eisenhower had a heart attack. And it made big, big news, and all the medical research started focusing on him and heart disease. And guess what came out of it? The low-fat diet. And now we know, looking back on that, they were wrong. The information was wrong, but a whole culture, a whole food industry was built out of that. But now we know it's not accurate. What we know now, unequivocally, that it was sugar. Sugar is the cause of disease. But the food industry hasn't changed. Nothing has changed much, except there are some healthy offerings. Thank goodness for that. The Atkins diet didn't work. I mean, it worked for some people, but most of those people, you know, that did that, they gained their weight back. So the ads, the medical field, everything is driven around unhealthy options. And even the pharmaceutical ads are driven by symptom relief and not really a cure. There's a cure for diabetes type 2. There's a cure for that. And there's cures for other diseases. I've seen it in my clients. Okay, so again, I told you, confused people don't move forward. But we as adults, parents, church leaders, health professionals, we must lead by example. So here's what I want to tell you. I'm going to give you these 4 things that you can do to get healthier and lead the way. Number 1 is get good sleep. If you're not sleeping well, it may be because you're drinking too much water, too much liquid before you go to bed. You're staying up too late watching TV. You need to go to bed. You need to get your rest. Once you start eating healthy and eating non-toxic foods, you'll be able to sleep better. I know it. I've seen it happen in over 200 people. They immediately tell me as soon as they get the toxins, the sugar, the toxins out of their body, they sleep better. The other thing is eliminate snacks. Guess who created the word snack? The food industry, because they want you buying snacks and they're expensive. We don't need snacks. If you eat good, healthy protein and fat and healthy carbs, you don't need a snack. Okay, eat whole foods. That's the third thing. Eat whole foods. Foods with limited ingredients, like 1 or 2 ingredients. If you look at that packet and it's got 20 things, throw it down. It's poison. Okay. The other thing is just be active. Just move more. I teach a little 20-minute class at 7 o'clock every night. Join me in that class. It's free and it's easy, and I do accommodations if you can't get down on the ground. So just wanted to give you a little short nudge. Hope I didn't push you too hard, but if you want more information on my YouTube channel, Dr. Nancy Stanley, I'd love to get your email if you'll put it in the comments or message me your email. I send out a couple of emails a week with health tips, health information, and I'd love to do that. And I'm going to be offering a challenge coming up soon, and I'd love to talk to you about it. So message me. But let's get healthy. Let's help our community. Let's help our community by making choices for ourselves and setting an example. Let's propagate the right things. Thank you for joining me.